The fall season is in the air and the sights of pumpkins are everywhere. If you're anything like me, decorating for fall is one of my favorite things to do. And adding a festive pumpkin to your home is a must. Now, we all know pumpkins are a classic symbol of fall, and they can add a touch of warmth and festivity to any decor. So, I've got a clever way to use your Lion brand yarn to knit texture into your craft pumpkins and give them a new look. It's an easy project to do, so if you're ready, let's make it! You'll need Lion brand wool ease yarn or thick jumbo yarn in any color you like, a plastic craft pumpkin, a recycled cereal or tissue box, or a bundle of junk mail, masking tape, brown, cream, and black paint, hot glue and a glue gun, and small paintbrushes. This hand knitting technique is really easy to do, and it adds the perfect texture to your craft pumpkin. And all you need is your middle and index fingers to start the process. Place the tail of the yarn in between your two fingers, with the tail laying forward on top of the palm of your hand. Wrap the length of the yarn around the back of your index finger and over the top, and then wrap it around the back of your middle finger and over the top. Wrap it again the same way. You should now have 2 loops on each finger. Starting with your index finger, take the bottom loop over the top loop and over your index finger. And then take the bottom loop on your middle finger over the top loop and over your middle finger. Do this process again, wrapping around the back side of your index finger and over the top, and behind your middle finger and over the top. And then take the bottom loop over the top loop and over your index finger, and take the bottom loop over the top loop over your middle finger. And that's the process. Now, once you've done this step a few times, pull the front tail to the back of your hand. You can tighten the weave as you go by pulling the knitted chain from the bottom or pulling the working piece of yarn taut on the side. Continue to weave the yarn around your fingers, making a knitted chain of yarn, making sure the chain is long enough to cover the length of your pumpkin. To tie the end, take the tail end through the index finger hole and then loop it through the hole in the middle finger. Carefully pull the loops off your fingers as you go and then pull the yarn tight to make a knot. You'll need to make enough knitted chains to cover your entire pumpkin. And it's a good idea to make a few smaller chains because you'll need them in the final steps when you're finishing your pumpkin. Now, this next part is optional, but if you'd like to add a larger stem to your pumpkin, it's easy to do, and it looks pretty realistic too. Using an empty cereal or tissue box, or even a pile of junk mail, cut it into a rectangle, and then roll it into a cylinder with a base that's large enough to cover the existing stem. Tape the rolled cardstock. Now, cut 1/2-inch slits all around the bottom and then fold them up, creating a base for the new stem. Cover it again with masking tape, placing an extra piece of cardboard or paper to cover the opening at the top. And then cover the entire stem with masking tape. Now, glue it on your pumpkin. Once the glue is set, paint the stem brown and let it dry completely. You may have to use 2 coats of paint. Now, once that's completely dry, use your black and cream paint to add accent details to the stem and give it a textured look, like a real stem. And also, while the pumpkin stem is drying, start making your knitted chains. You'll need plenty of knitted chains to cover your entire pumpkin, depending on its size. For this one, I used about 36 to 40 to cover my large pumpkin. Adding the chains to the pumpkin is easy. Start by adding the top of the knitted yarn to the top of the pumpkin. You're going to want to match it up along the creases first, and then add hot glue along the crease and place your yarn chain down the side to the bottom of the pumpkin. You can leave the tail ends long until you have several chains glued, and then cut the ends off. Continue this process, adding the knitted yarn chains down the sides of the pumpkin along the creases, all the way around the pumpkin. And once your pumpkins are decorated, you can place them anywhere in your home. Put them on tables, shelves, mantels, or group them together for a more dramatic effect. Start filling in the extra open spaces. Now this is where the shorted knitted chains will come in handy. Now once that's complete, finish adding the last pieces of knitted yarn, filling in all the gaps, and clip the long pieces. And there you have it, a cozy knitted pumpkin. So with a little creativity and some imagination, you can use knitted pumpkins to create beautifully festive fall home decor.